Susan and Chris, this is revision 2 from our meeting this morning. And so we'll go over the new changes. The gate, as we discussed this morning, is going to slide the whole way. I've drawn in the outer crossing to be the full width of the driveway, which is about 6 metres. So typically 4.5 metres for a permit. We can always try for 6 metres. I've left the exposed ag and the cobblestone in the driveway. Again, it's a cost thing really, and we can play around with surfaces at a later stage. Ideally, great if we can pave the whole thing, but this is a good cost-saving measure. You can see the the various plantings through this garden. It's a mixture of formal plantings and there's mixed informalities inside the garden beds there. Central gate. What you can't see just here is that I have extended that bluestone paving all the way out to the footpath and through the lawn area there. Water feature is back in this corner here. And as for the plants, you can see that I've dotted in various things here, magnolias and hydrangeas and whatnot. We don't need to get too hung up on those specific plants. We can refine this as we go. Bluestone paving there with the granite sets as the header course. I've changed the steps slightly, so 1 step up at the front gate, reduced that down to 2 steps to the front door, and I've tilted the pathway up to the driveway, so it's sort of like a half step there. At the back, as we did this morning, got rid of the basketball court, turned that into a paved space so that we can put a basketball ring back into that paved area. The kids have got space for being able to ride around and scoot and that sort of thing. I did mention this morning that we could get rid of that retaining wall along the back. I admittedly have forgotten to do that. The paving here could be bluestone, it could be a concrete paver. The best thing to do, all of this really needs to go down onto a concrete foundation. Up the side of the house, I've changed that to steps as we discussed this morning. Nice sizable path. Underneath the trampoline, we changed that to a synthetic turf, so that at least it looks like grass but doesn't need to be mowed. Sorted trees. Now again, like I said about the front, the planting and the trees that I've got drawn in here can be anything really, and we'll come to that. There are some things that I obviously want to try and achieve with plantings, like the climbers that go over the arbors. Could be Boston ivy, one of the grapevines, it could be roses, lots of different things there that it could be. This little intermediate space, as we discussed, I still believe that this is the right thing to do with the 3 steps up here and then another 3 steps up to the pool height. The nice formal water feature with the lion's heads there, and I really want to make this feel really warm and inviting with lots of pot plants. And one of the things to make this successful is to make sure that we get irrigation 2 points throughout this garden, that we can put pot plants at those points and have a dripper system feeding those pots. Drainage is always a bit of an issue with pots. They simply just drain onto the paving. There's not much that we can do there. I've got hanging pot plants. I really love the idea of putting in some hanging pot plants, a little table and chairs for 4 people, just a nice little coffee spot there, looking out onto the lawn. Great when the plant, if we're doing a deciduous climber, great when this is a sunny position in winter or spring or autumn. Unfortunately, you can't see underneath this arbor, but it does have the 4 pillars, those 4 half pillars which I've put up against the house and the boundary. Now the pool has gone to right to the boundary. It's still, I think, is about 7 metres in length, but it's getting on towards being about 5 metres to waterline. But a fair bit of that is taken up with the water feature on this wall. Cladding, outside materials, all of that is up for grabs. Now you can see I've gone for a full length, full height, 1.2 meter acrylic edge on the house side, and the waterfall on the back. So there's a waterfall which is running down the surface of these tiles, which goes into a trough that spills over a lip. So that'll be like a paved lip, a header course lip, and then that becomes a free fall, like a sheer descent water feature. So you'll get splashing and noise from the lower half of that water feature. The view out, as I said this morning, I really want to get some greenery in there. The view out from the top story, as I said this morning, we can't really see the acrylic window. We're really just looking at the waterfall and the surrounds. And now I've brought that arbor across on the right hand there. I forgot in this drawing to put the tree. I'd really like to get a small deciduous tree into that corner there, something like a maple or a magnolia or something along those lines. This is this view out from these other windows looking down into the pool from this end. Swim outs, steps, all of that is still up for grabs, but this one we've got 3 steps in. It was a nice beach entry and a nice long full, what we describe as a swim out ledge there. So I want you to have a think about this design. I'm going to put this into a hard copy version so we can get started on costing it up for you.